Hey, it's Willie Armelini with your Floral Industry Buzz. Hey, today I'm going to interview Steve Dionne. Steve Dionne is Executive Director of Cal Flowers. Cal Flowers is the association that represents the California growers. And also, he just returned from Memorial Day Flowers event. And so I thought we'd talk about it. So without further ado, Mr. Steve Dionne. And for those of you that wanted to hear just a little bit more of this, okay, sorry. All right, Steve Dionne from Cal Flowers and from Wayfex, and we happy to have you here. And I know that you just recently returned from Memorial Day Flowers event that was held, and with my friend Romero. And I really think we should talk about that because that's on my mind.
Yeah, well, I appreciate bringing on, and thanks for taking the time to have me on as well, Willie. I appreciate it. Yeah, Memorial Day Flowers. Ramiro is the heart and soul of it. He's had a great team of support, most notably Bernardo, and they've really spent the last 10 years or so developing it into something special. And I got to experience it for the first time myself this year, although I know a lot of other people in the industry that have been participating year after year after year, interrupted by COVID, naturally, as so many things. But the whole program is so poignant and important, and it's so great to see all the different segments of the industry cooperate to support the efforts there. Because when you go there in person, you see it actually happen before your very eyes. You do understand how incredible of a program it really is, and how much it truly impacts the lives of the people that are there at the national cemeteries, memorializing their loved ones. And it makes a huge difference in their day, and just the level of emotion is very high. It's a very dramatic event.
Yeah, my brother and my nephew, and who and my niece have gone there several times and dealing with unloading trucks, which were good. And so, yeah, it's a really nice event. I've really followed Romero doing this, and he's gotten a lot of attention with a lot of different cemeteries around the country. Wholesalers and retailers, I think, are supporting him and trying to, bring that level of awareness to the local military cemeteries.
Yeah, and so a good example of that is Fort Logan in Colorado. Victory for Veterans does a huge organized event there that mirrors what happens at Arlington, and it's continuing to build steam as the years go by. I know there's been activities in Texas, here in California. As a matter of fact, Chris Johnson on the Cal Flower staff, he's headed up, the flower, placing the flowers on graves with local Boy Scout troops for years at our local national cemetery. So it definitely happens beyond Arlington. Although the heart and soul of the program began at Arlington and will always continue there, with the goal of getting a flower on literally every grave at Arlington, and eventually every grave nationwide on Memorial Day.
Yeah, well, it's a momentous task. I have to point out, it's not simple. And but you're right. The good news is that he's put it together and it's been successful over the years. And more importantly, I think, is that he's getting the support from Colombia, from California, from Ecuador. I mean, pretty much they're getting flowers from around the globe, which is good. I mean, people seem to let down their guard, and it's for a good cause. So it's been a big deal, I think.
Indeed, and there's been some real heavy lifters. Armelini being one of them. Armelini has a trailer there every year. Obviously, yeah, Steven and his kids, they're huge participants in the program. But there's others, like Holland America Flowers here in California, donates bouquets to the TAPS program every year. It's 400 bouquets, and they're gorgeous, huge California bouquets. And the TAPS program is designed to provide assistance for surviving families of soldiers lost overseas, and it's a really neat group. And we kind of stayed in the same hotel that they were in. So the hotel, the TAPS, the people were everywhere, the T-shirts were everywhere, their events were there, and that sort of thing. And they gave special honor, this year to Ramiro and the team,
Oh, did they?
contributing for so long. But Holland America Flowers have been huge on the Miami side. The Queens Group, Soleil Farms, 7,000 Logistics, Passion Growers. They donate 40,000 stems every year.
Wow.
So you really get a broad level of participation, and then that then brings you to the local wholesalers. Younger and Sons, they send a truck down. Potomac Wholesale participates. Delaware Valley Wholesale has been a big participant, and then beyond the industry, the foundation's been quite successful at beginning the process of pulling in, especially major DC area defense contractor types like Peraton, DCGI, TD Bank. Not only participates, but one of their former executives sits on the board of the foundation now, is helping create new inroads. And so there's this kind of burgeoning movement around the foundation that should allow it to continue to expand its footprint and draw in not only the interest, but also importantly, the dollars that exist in order to be able to help perpetuate this and make sure that we do actually achieve the goal of getting a flower on every grave.
Okay, well, and for people who don't know about Memorial Day flowers, I think I'll throw it up on the site here, memorialdayflowers.org, I believe. And for locals who perhaps don't know about the program, it basically is for the veterans, and we supply, or y'all supply the flowers from the vendors that offer them, and so it's a great program. I wish more people knew about it. And
the day of this being my first year to participate, we a whole bunch of us start out, at the crack of dawn, unloading trucks. We process all the flowers, we put them in various bags based on donors. So there's Cal Flowers bags, there's Peraton bags, there's TD Bank bags, and they're just little decorative bags that are used to hand out clusters of flowers. And it's done as cars drive into Arlington National Cemetery. And then the look on people's face when you hand them the flowers, the last 2 years they've been on poles with a hook at the end.
Oh, right.
So you don't have to get too close to the people in the car. You just kind of hand them in that way. But they're stunned that they're being given free flowers, and you can just begin to get a sense for it. And then Cal Flowers has a kind of a special section set up for the Iraq and Afghanistan war section. And so we set up a tent there, and a team of volunteers just hands out flowers to all the families that are streaming in to spend time graveside, memorializing their loved ones. And there again, you can just see it, that interaction and kind of how it affects people, and you have conversations with them. I remember there was a young guy who came up, I'm guessing he was probably 17 or 18 years old. And, he was kind of incredulous. So I handed him a bunch of lilies, and he was like, wow, I can't begin to tell you how meaningful this is. And I was like, so who are you here visiting? And he said, it's my father. And you have these conversations. It's like, it really impacts you. And it's a matter of our industry's product interacting with a person. It's such an important time in it, not such the traditional way. It's not a romantic thing. It's not a congratulations thing. It's more of a, just the sentiment that's wrapped up in it. It's hard to describe. Many people try to describe to me what it was like to experience it. You can't do it. You have to go do it for yourself. And we would love to see more people there. The whole industry is welcome.
All right. Well, hopefully we can get some more people there. And this might be a good segue into Cal Flowers, because Cal Flowers obviously supports the program and gets donations and sends you there and different things. But so let's talk about Cal Flowers, because Cal Flowers, I like to think of Cal Flowers as the neutral California people, if you will, to the extent that you're not CCFC and you're not fighting the Colombians and the Ecuadorians and all the imports. You're since the days of Mike LeBeau and different things, it became more of a complementary way to look at it. More flowers for everybody, or what's the
more Americans enjoying more flowers more often. That's our aspirational theme and our goal. And despite the fact that our origin and our name, it clearly associates us with the California floral industry, we've really repositioned ourselves as a national entity that is directly focused on more Americans enjoy more flowers more often, and without the need to attach any origin related discussion to that. We simply want people in whatever capacity makes sense for them, through whatever outlet they choose to buy their flowers, whatever origin they choose to buy their flowers. We want people to have flowers in their lives. That's our prevailing theme. And so we really work hard to identify numerous different areas of the industry that we can support. We can't do everything ourselves. We don't have the capacity to take on every challenge, but we definitely push our support in the direction of all these different areas of the industry where we think that it's being impactful to consumers. So Memorial Day Flowers is very high on that list. We're very proud of that association, and we do feel strongly that it very positively impacts the consumer and their understanding of our industry. But there's others. There's the Life in Bloom television show that we're a major sponsor.
Oh yeah.
We sponsor a lot of educational programs in Texas at the high school teacher level. We have a scholarship foundation set up with AFE, and we directly support AFE. We support WFSA, AIFD, numerous state associations, the Hugs and Smiles campaign. The list goes on and on. We're always looking for new opportunities to provide support. And we have an internal methodology to calculate return on investment in a non-financial way. It really is a matter of, as any new opportunity comes up, what's the audience? Does it further the mission of Cal Flowers? And there's just several different categories that we analyze, and through the requests that we get for funding, we end up we're very proud of the different channels that we do support.
Well, and we applaud that, because you are doing a good thing. And again, I like it because it's neutral, and it's not antagonistic, and it's not anti-competitive. We didn't plan to talk about this, but I just happened to get a Google alert this morning about a bill was introduced it's been going around about having only American grown flowers being in the government buildings, or all the government spending money, they can only spend money on American flowers. What's your take on that?
It's an interesting question. I am aware of the bill. Certified American Grown is an outflow of the California Cut Flower Commission, which was wound down the end of last year. I think that myself, and I think the general feeling at Cal Flowers among the board of directors and staff, is that domestic farmers have a set of challenges, a unique set of challenges. And they even vary, obviously, within the domestic landscape. I mean, the Florida fern growers have different sets of challenges than a coastal California bulb grower or something along those lines. The guys in the Pacific Northwest, of course, there's flower growers all over, throughout the states. And the fact that the Certified American Grown is in place to represent that segment of the industry, and they have an effective new leader, Cameron King, that I did get a chance to meet, and he's a really impressive guy. And I know numerous people that are on their founding board, all great people, all really positive contributors to the floral industry. So Cal Flowers, takes the position that definitely justifiable need for representation for the domestic producers, and the message that CCFC has pushed prior, and the whole Certified American Grown concept certainly has its place in the consumer landscape. There are definitely people out there that are very origin focused, do want to know the origin of their flowers. So there's a lot of upside happening there. When it comes to the bill itself, when you start looking at the legislative aspects, it gets into a different area of the discussion that gets a little bit dicey. I mean, far be it from me to say that people should or shouldn't be doing this or that. I can say that the nature of the bill itself would prevent Cal Flowers from getting behind it, throwing any political weight behind the promotion of the bill, simply because our mission and our foundational principles don't really put us in an origin specific way. We just want people to have flowers, and that's pretty much the beginning and the end of it. So I think there's a lot of positive things happening in Certified American Grown. Love to see the activities that are happening there, and wish them the best in their initiatives. Not only this.
Well, thank you for that. That was just something that popped up, and I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about Wayfex. Okay, you came from Wayfex. Wayfex is an Australian company, or an Australian sourced company, I guess.
So Wayfex, people always wonder about the name. It's Western Australian Floral Exports. That's the Wayfex name. It's an acronym for Western Australian Floral Exports. The headquarters are in Perth, and they also have locations in Melbourne and Sydney as well. They are, aside from a huge bouquet maker, they're the largest floral company in Australia, both in importing and exporting. They are also they have a multi-chain wholesale operation, and they also provide bouquets as well in the Australian market. They export to countless countries around the world. And I was a customer of Wayfex. We used to import their Australian product onto the West Coast for distribution to wholesale florists many years ago. And then I worked for USA Bouquet for a period of time. And when I left there, I was searching for my next opportunity. And I reached out to the guys at Wayfex, Adrian and Craig, who I'd known for a very long time. They're just stand-up guys, great industry experience. They run a great business, great morale. And I proposed that we start a joint venture here in the US to really become the best at importing Australian and South African native cut flowers, wherever that may be from. And so we founded Wayfex USA 9 years ago. And we've done a few acquisitions along the way of other people involved in the Australian floral trade and also California brokering trade. That was Fresh Pack Flowers that we acquired, as well as Ostwin's. And since then, we've done our best to become the preeminent importer of Australian and South African cut flowers in the United States. And we also import from Portugal and Spain and Kenya, Zimbabwe, and Canary Islands. Anywhere we can find products that we think that this market has demand for. And we kind of take the approach where we work with a lot of smallhold farmers that don't have the ability to penetrate a supply chain like the United States on their own. And we provide them the kind of logistical platform and the support system to get them up and running and kind of help them avoid having to send everything through Holland, which is generally how the international industry works for a lot of these types of farmers.
Right.
So, direct access to the market, which we feel is a benefit both to the farm and to the wholesale, floral community here in terms of stripping costs out of the equation, increasing freshness, and giving access to the best, most cutting-edge varieties.
And it's all that unique stuff. It's the wax flower and the proteas and all that sort of stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're really proud of our Helix hybrid wax flower. Helix is a breeder that is a subsidiary of Wayfex, and there's licensed farms around the globe that are producing the Helix hybrids. These are absolutely top-notch, cutting-edge wax varieties. And our most recent agreement is with Milano, right here in Southern California, where Wayfex USA and Milano produce a crop in tandem and bring it to market. And we just finished our second season, and it's going fantastic. It's been great.
Super. Well, with my friends at the Milanos, good.
Yes.
All right. So 20 minutes does go fast, as I know it would. So I think what we've gotten a good round idea about what's going on with Memorial Day flowers and Wayfex and Cal Flowers. And I thought we would, on a personal note, tell you about how you and I we met in a way. You and I have been to a lot of conventions in a lot of different cities and countries, I guess, and bumped around and we'd say hi, how you doing? And that was about it. And one day, walking through the parking lot, I believe in Santa Barbara, I think we did the normal thing. Hey, how you doing? And you said maybe we should say more than hello. And I thought, yeah, why not? Let's just. And I think ultimately we ended up at the bar having a drink and having a few discussions because maybe I tend to move too fast at conventions, and a lot of people do. There's a lot of movements, a lot of moving parts at a convention. So
yeah, I'm the same way, but I'm glad that we finally took the initiative to get to know each other. It's been great to know you over the years, and you're such a knowledgeable guy, and the work that you do with Flowers and Scents is great. I know people all over the place pay attention to what's happening on your website, and for that reason also, if you don't mind, I just want to take a couple minutes to mention one other item. This is a Cal Flowers item, but you're going to be hearing more and more about this as time goes on, but this is kind of your first tip off on Cal Flowers has entered a new marketing initiative. We've launched a new marketing initiative that is designed to really move the needle on floral consumption in the United States. And what we've done is, look, we have a really, really strong board. And the board has spent several years of due diligence. It started with some market research that was done several years ago, kind of a semiotic analysis of the market. We looked at several iterations of what could theoretically be done to bring a marketing message from the floral industry direct to the consumer in a way that the industry can afford to do it and touch as many people as possible that could be potential consumers of our product. Then COVID hit, and a new category of floral sales opened up wide open. And everybody I've talked to in the industry recognizes that people have been buying flowers for themselves. They want them in their Zoom screen during calls like this. They want them in their personal space. They recognize kind of the self-care value of flowers. So this wave started all on its own, and Cal Flowers in our last board meeting finalized several years of lead-in work, where we're working with a top firm in Amsterdam that's done a lot of work with the Flower Council of Holland. We've identified a media channel firm in Los Angeles. And at our member meeting in San Diego on August 6th, we're going to do our first kind of soft launch of this new marketing concept built around flowers in the self-care space, buying flowers for yourself, new categorization for flowers. And we're going to do a pretty strong marketing blitz that will launch in early 2022 with some highly polished materials through Spotify, through YouTube, through Instagram, and through Pinterest. And we expect to touch tens of millions of consumers with our messaging. And we're trying to provide industry leadership. We know the last huge thing has been promo floor. It had its place, quite a few years ago. I think
many years ago.
But since then, despite a lot of work in a lot of different segments of the industry, we as the floriculture industry have yet to repeat such an effort. And Cal Flowers is proud to announce that we've decided to take a leadership role in this.
Sweet.
Demonstrate that it can be done, and then invite the rest of the industry to contribute and participate and help get the message out there, get the funding mechanisms in place to make sure we can perpetuate this awesome marketing campaign we're just on the verge of doing.
Wow. Well, that's a mouthful. And, marketing issues on a global basis or industry basis has been very controversial since promo floor way back when. So, hey, I applaud what you're doing. I look forward to seeing it. And thank you for your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you as well, Willie. Always appreciate talking to you.
It's been fun. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. You too. Take care.